let's try this one. I'm not sure this is going to be any better. I don't know what's going on with my audio tonight, but now you can see my setup a little bit more. And again, if you can just let me know if you can hear me in the comments, that would be really helpful. I don't know what's happening. Oh, wait, yay, you can hear me now. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna go with this angle. It's not as good as the last one, but that's okay. Let me make one slight adjustment. And I guess we will just start from the beginning. Yay! Thank you guys so much for letting me know you couldn't hear me. You're gonna have to take a look at my notes now and my microphone, but let's just let's start over since I don't think anything worked previously. So today we're talking about mindset, and most people have a fixed mindset saying that they cannot do something. They don't feel confident in themselves enough because they have some sort of limiting belief. So we're going to talk about getting to a growth mindset. And I'll be brief in this, but you do need to think about what we've built upon in building the positive success habits. And we talk about this through the different days that we've had in this course. And we start with day 1, which was vision, right? So you have to believe in yourself. You have to find what makes you passionate and how you want to grow, and that you have to find your mission in this life. You have to find what is your purpose. Then you have to decide. You have to decide to take action, and you have to choose to be better and overcome those objections that you've often told yourself. And I know for me, I like to use the term choose versus decide, but I thought decide was important because if you look at the root of decide, it literally means to kill. C-I-D-E means to kill. And I'll give you some more camera. And you're deciding to stop doing bad habits, right? That's why we're deciding to take action. And on day 3, we talk about growth and having that willingness to learn more and grow who you are as a person is very important. And I know for me, I've had unbelievable growth in the past 2 years through changing my mindset. And sure, we always are growing, we're always learning new things, but when I changed my mindset to I can do hard things versus I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing them, it really changed my perception on what I could achieve. Day 4, we talked about core values and celebrating life and so for me, my core values are celebrate accountability, integrity, and empathic interactions. I want to be authentic who I am at my core. And when I filled out that wheel of life in 2019, celebration was actually the lowest thing on my chart. My wheel was very unstable because, in my opinion, I wasn't celebrating well enough in my own life. And so I've held myself accountable, and I'm growing and I'm learning how to celebrate and I'm learning how to have more fun. I'm authentically showing up for myself and those other people around me. I'm holding myself accountable, which was day 5, right? So we talked about accountability. I tell myself I will not break promises to myself. I've convinced myself that I have to accomplish the goals I set for myself. Last Monday, we talked about goals and dreams, making your dreams a reality, right? So owning my own company was a dream. I wasn't sure if I could ever get there. However, I took actionable steps. I held myself accountable. I changed my mindset to tell myself I can do this. I can own my own company, because the question is, well, why not? Why can't I own my own business, right? So I am making my company a reality because I'm believing in myself. I'm understanding that my mindset had everything to do with me not thinking that I could make that conscious decision. You have to have motivation. For me, my motivation is I want to empower you. I want you to achieve your biggest goals and dreams. I want you to understand, to get over this limiting belief, this limiting mindset, this fixed mindset. You have to show up and you have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to learn more. Having that discipline. This has taken a lot of hard work. This has taken late nights and early mornings, and it will continue to go that way in my journey of life, right? Because the path that I want to pursue requires that type of action. That doesn't mean you have to do that. That just means you have to find what you're passionate about and how you can stay disciplined and focused to learn and grow more and convince your mind. It is a muscle to continue to learning, right? Keep learning more. And you have to have the courage. If you don't have the courage to implement anything, then those past 8 days are for nothing. But on day 9, we did talk about courage. And you have to implement courage. You have to learn courage. You have to be willing to accept that you are courageous. And day 10, which was on Friday, we discussed change. And you have to show up for yourself and be willing to accept change. And know that even if you do fail, you have to learn that that's an opportunity to grow. So don't hold yourself back. Don't be afraid of the change. Show up, impress yourself, and continue to go forward. So let's talk about mindset a little bit. I know we're going to get cut short too because the sound quality issue earlier, which I'm going to have to look into that, and I'm not sure what was going on. However, there's so many different mindsets, and we could probably write out at least 100 of them. However, we're going to think about having a fixed mindset or a growth mindset tonight. But really quick, before we jump into that, let's think about some mindsets we could have, because they're either positive or they're negative. They're not always good, right? If you're telling yourself that you're lazy or envious or you're angry, those are going to be negative mindsets. Those aren't going to help you get to the next level. You're not going to elevate to become the best version of yourself if you're constantly telling yourself that you are not in a happy place. If you are a productive mindset or a patient mindset, I know for me, I struggle with patience, and I always have, but it's a mindset that I'm trying to learn. I mean, there's an example today where I kind of lost my cool, and if I had just waited 2 more hours, it would have been fine. And I would have gotten a response back, and it would have been a growth opportunity. And it is, right? I'm learning from that experience to take a step back and be patient. If you are in a goal-setting mindset or a gratitude mindset, you can learn a lot of who you are and how you can become better than you were before. So again, you've got your fixed mindset and your growth mindset. Those are kind of what we're talking about during this whole positive success habits course. But you have to remember, we were all born the same. We're all born average. If we want to be better, we have to learn more. We have to attain new skills. We have to grow. We have to have that desire, because at the end of the day, nobody's pushing us to do that. At the end of the day, we have to show up for ourselves, and we have to want to be more. And that starts with your mind, because as Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you cannot, you're right. So to me, That means if you don't think you can do something, you're never going to achieve it because you're convincing yourself that you're not capable of doing that. You have to show up and want it more than anybody else. You have to always be learning. And a lot of times we can learn the most during our darkest times. So think about being in a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, there's the light, right? When you're in the tunnel, you might feel fear, you might be overwhelmed, you might be scared. But as you take one step in front of the next and you keep moving forward, you don't allow yourself to slow down. You want to take that one extra step to get closer to the light. You're going to be learning who you are. You're going to be learning how to keep pushing yourself even when nobody's around. When you are at the end of the tunnel and you finally get to the light, you're going to notice that it expands, right? It's going to be so much bigger than it was when you first started your journey, back when that was just a little pinhole of a light. But you can't give up on yourself. You have to keep pushing. You have to believe that you are made for more. You have to believe in yourself and push yourself and not break promises to yourself. Always be learning something. Always be training your mind. Tom Ballou said, "The point of knowledge is to control your own life." And I'll add on that is through learning and growing. Don't stop. Keep going. Want more than anybody thinks that is even attainable. Because if you push yourself, you'll achieve bigger things than you ever thought you could, and you will impress yourself. When you think about mindset, you can kind of think about it being as part of your mood, right? And when you're jumping to conclusions, or when you're not listening to other people and you're letting them dictate your life through their opinions, you're kind of in a fixed mindset. You need to grow beyond that. You can learn from those situations, but you have to believe that anything is possible if you want it to be. Through building skills and improving your life and always trying to attain more. Mindset, and I might have mentioned this earlier, I'm not sure, because we had our sound issues at the beginning and I don't remember what video we were on when I said this. However, mindset often happens on accident. Habits often happen on accident. So you have to recognize that you can change those things, right? You have to recognize that you are in charge of your life. You can change things that you don't want in your life. If you want to cut your hair, if you want to have new clothes, if you want to get tattooed eyeliner, you can do that too. Like, you can do whatever you want because you're in charge of your life. Don't let other people stop you, because when you're letting other people stop you, you're giving them power. You have to show up and want more than they could ever take away from you. I think that this video is a little bit wonky in terms of how, the presentation, right? We started with no audio, like it's kind of gone all over the place. So I'm going to just end it on this. Work hard and only time will tell if you will be the greatest. Maybe you are not believing that you could ever be the next Michael Phelps or the next Kobe or the next Michael Jordan or even the next president, right? But you'll never know if you don't push yourself. You'll never know if you don't try. Because if you're not trying, somebody else is trying. If you aren't showing up for yourself, how would you ever know if you could be the next president, the next Olympic athlete? Somebody's going to be trying to do that. And why can't it be you? If you're not going to at least try, you're never going to be the greatest. Because if you don't, a good example, is if you want six pack abs, right? I could think that I want six pack abs all day. But if I'm sitting here and I'm eating donuts and binge watching Netflix, scrolling my social media, and not doing anything to get six pack abs, just the thought of doing it is never going to give me six pack abs. So I have to put in the effort, I have to put in the time, and then I can probably achieve six pack abs if I give it my hardest attempt. Time will pass anyway, right? So why not show up for yourself and at least try to achieve a goal or a dream? Anything that can put one foot in front of the other to take you closer to that bright light. Because if you're still confused, I recommend going back to day one and watching how we started and how we even got here to talk about mindset, because it's all foundational. It all builds upon itself. You won't find your purpose by sitting on the couch. You have to try, you have to put in the work, and you have to want to be better than you were yesterday. Have gratitude, have a positive, have a learning, have a growth mindset, whatever you want to call it. Put yourself out of the negative or the fixed mindset and show up for who you really want to be. Show up for the best version of yourself. I apologize because this video was a little bit messed up because of the audio at the beginning. But at the end of the day, mindset and what you're telling yourself is so important. Don't let that negative thought in your mind control who you are. Don't let that thought control your actions. Overcome it and be the best version of yourself. So tonight, I encourage you to focus on having a positive mindset and having a growth mindset and jotting down how you can do that. And by doing that, you can say, I will do something, the fill in the blank, positively. And it can be that simple. I will do something positively. Don't let yourself tell you that you can't do something, because you should be your biggest motivator and you should be your biggest encourager. And with that being said, I'm going to get off this because it's been a kind of a mess, but I hope y'all have a great night, and tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more on our positive success habits course. And I am going to post in the notes a place where you can get the replays as well as additional information to receive a weekly email. We send out one email per week, and I think it's pretty impactful. And if you want any of the replays, they are on YouTube. So let me know if you have any questions. We've got a bunch of the templates in the group, and I'm happy to help. I will see y'all tomorrow at 6:30 Texas time. Bye.